Hello, everybody, and welcome to another movie review. This is for Poltergeist 2015. So I did not see the original Poltergeist back in the 80s, I think it was, 80s or 90s. So yeah, I don't know much about the original one, but I know Steven Spielberg, I think, wrote it. Could be wrong. But yeah, this was Poltergeist 2015. I didn't think it was that bad. There were a few moments I really liked. Any moment where the TV was really involved, especially this one, was really cool. It was kind of like a bridge gap between, I guess you could say, if you've seen Stranger Things, then I'll use an analogy from that. Like, this is kind of the bridge gap between the real world and the Upside Down, in an alternate, almost identical place. And oh my gosh, the scene when one of the characters goes into that place was really immersive and really creeped me out a lot. And sorry, I am swallowing. So for the actors in this movie, it has it's a good question. So sorry for yawning. But Sam Rockwell, that's his name. Sam Rockwell, Rosemary DeWitt, Kendi Clements, Kyle Catlett, Saxon Charbonneau. I think that's how you say it. Possibly. Oh, there was this scene where this guy was in a closet trying to put something up, and he dropped this tool behind there. Really dumb to reach your hand in there. And then something on the other side starts drilling a hole through the wall, slowly going towards him. Won't tell you how it ended, but that was really intense. Now, for some people, they may think that's a stereotypical jump scare. And I would disagree. It was very slow paced for a jump scare. I mean, tense but slow paced. Scary? I would say yeah. Very intense, definitely. Good performances, yeah. So there's a line in the back of the cover, which I disagree. It says, they know what scares you, back of the DVD case. And I don't think they know what scares you. That's not the point of this movie. Not a single point in here says they know what scares you. No, that's not brought up once. So I don't know what that's about. But all around, all the main actors and actresses, great performances. One of the things is you need to believe in the character that you're playing and be fully into your character, if that makes sense. And I say that they all were. They were very, very, what's the word? Believable. I feel that they were very believable for a movie that's about demons and kidnapping a kid and such like that. I feel that they were pretty believable for what it is. Now, this isn't the scariest image I have. It's this one. This image on the cover is probably the most terrifying thing. And the scene in which this thing appears is creepy, definitely, but I wouldn't say threatening, because it's taken care of very fast. Not very life-threatening. Now, there is one typical horror trope, I feel, that they kind of used in here, and that's the idea, and this is going to kind of get into some spoiler territory. I'm sure most people who see this have probably seen it, but I will talk about one spoiler territory. This is not a end movie spoiler, it's just kind of, it's a decent spoiler for this movie. There's not really anything that spoiler heavy for this movie, because there's not like a gigantic twist or anything. But their house was buried on a cemetery, and supposedly the cemetery and all the bodies were moved to a new cemetery. But apparently they weren't. And the hauntings are those people who were laid to rest there and had that house built up on top of it. They were not very happy, and so they kind of haunted that house. I feel like the idea of that cemetery trope, because some like Pet Sematary does it a bit differently, and it doesn't involve a house being put on top of a cemetery, but having that, like, oh, you know, because like they even have a line, it's like, oh, it's not, at least, I mean, it's not like it's an Indian burial ground, because, you know, the whole idea of, oh, this was built on an Indian burial ground, so now it's haunted, because it was buried and, or it was put on the top of an Indian burial ground. I'll stick with that one. That's the third one. And I apologize for yawning, by the way. Again, I'm doing this at 2 a.m. Don't know why. I just am. So that is just a bit annoying. I would not say that the jump scares were scary, and which is a good thing. There are movies that do jump scares for the sake of jump scares. This movie doesn't, I feel, which makes me like it more, because that's one of the things. And I like A Quiet Place, which I haven't rated yet, like done a review for, but I have watched. That movie is the definition of horror, I would say, to me, in the simple sense that silence is scarier than words, than anything. A big noise will make you jump, but if you have silence, you can be scared. You'll be scared a lot easier, because the tension can build. And if there's a jump scare that happens, there won't be much sound to accompany it. If they, I mean, it depends on what kind of jump scare they do and whatnot, but that helps. So doing the boom, loud noise scares you thing is overrated. I feel it wrapped up okay. There is an alternate ending, which kind of left it off for a possibility of a sequel. In a sense, I could see it happening, so I'm really glad they did not. I'll go with that ending. Okay. I do apologize again for swallowing. There's not much that's going to be done about that. It's really late. I'm not going to be heavily editing this video anyway, because, yeah. But this movie as well, surprisingly, not bad for a PG-13 rated horror film. A lot of the PG-13 rated horror films are so kind of put down, I'd say, heavily or cheesy or something like that, where they're not actually good. The R ones have a lot more availability to do things that the PG-13 horror movies can't. So yeah, I'd definitely say that. And as I'm looking through the pictures, okay, I'm just trying to see in the back of the box. The pictures do seem to, there's 5 images of the movie, and it does seem to cover the range of the movie, so that's nice. Gives you a little taste of everything if you wanted to see. That's not anything important. That was just my observation. But yeah, I think I'd give this movie a C. It's a solid film, not my favorite horror film. And there's, again, not really much to talk about. It's not an extraordinary film. But it's definitely not a bad film. And apologies if people want me to do things other than horror for these reviews. It's just that currently I seem to be liking to do horror reviews more. It just seems like horror movies right now keep me more enticed than some other things. But yeah, there are a few like unnecessary things that happen, and there is definitely, was there foreshadowing? I don't know. I had something else to say. I just can't remember now. So yeah, I don't think I have much else to say. It was a good movie. I would definitely add this to my collection. Man, and that's the other thing though. The cover is this. The clown is. Sorry. Is this image. This is in it toward the beginning, and then, as I said, it's handled very quickly, and it's never seen again. This is it's a very creepy image to have for your cover movie, but it's not like it's the main thing that happens in the movie. What would have been better would have been a picture of the girl in front of the TV with all the hands. That would have been a good cover image. Now maybe that's on the cover of the Blu-ray. Let me check, because like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, for example, has 2 very different cover arts. Is this? Oh, this is the wrong one. This is the right one. Let me see. Okay, unfortunately, it is not. So it just uses that, the Poltergeist image here. That's all it uses. Which is sad. But that's okay. Okay. So, I think that's just about to do it. This review did not have a lot, really to go in it, and I apologize if you feel it lacked content. Sorry if I also was quiet for too long in some sections. I am starting to get a bit tired, so I probably was like zoning out thinking and just didn't talk a few times. But yeah, if you're a horror fan, check this out. It's, again, not it's not a bad movie, but it's not like a great movie. It's just in between. I was very enthralled by it though, and especially toward the end, very, very stuck to my screen watching the film. So it's rated PG-13 for intense, frightening sequences, brief suggestive material, and some language. So in case you were wondering. And is this Fox? Yeah, 20th Century Fox. Okay. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to end this video here. So again, I gave it a C. I think that's a solid rating for this movie. Again, I enjoyed it. I didn't have anything wrong with the movie, but it's definitely not a movie that I'd say would be better than A Quiet Place or Hereditary or Pet Sematary 2019 or anything like that. So that's why I put it down a bit, because I know I don't like this one as much as I do others. Definitely not It Chapter 2. Or Chapter 1. Not 2, Chapter 1. Because Chapter 2's not out yet. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This was a mess, as it always is when I do it at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
There's no way we can live here.
Come on.
There are power lines.
Relax.
I can feel the tumors forming already.
No one's getting tumors.
Mom, there's a kitchen!
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Slow down, please.
I have a very motivated seller.
Do you want to see a truck? What kind of truck? Mom, we like this house!
I think things are looking up.
I think there's a storm coming.
Stop being such a baby, Griffin.
I'm not afraid. How will you get here? Who are you talking to?
Daddy? Madison! We didn't know where else to go.
You did the right thing coming to us. This doesn't seem to be a classic haunting.
This is unlike anything I've seen before.
It's a new, more powerful poltergeist.
Maddie?
We need you to come back to us now, honey.
Hi, Mommy.
Clear your minds. They already know what scares you.
Something's wrong, Mom.